Greetings everyone. Here we have a Bible review today, very similar to the one I did before of the Oxford edition of the two-version Bible. In fact, those variants are within the margins, which is outside of the text. So within this edition, which is the Cambridge edition, the variants are within the text and not in the margins. So the Cambridge edition comes in two platforms, the first of which is still in print is the calfskin edition, and the second which is a hardbound edition, which uses very nice French mill paper and 22 karat gold for the gilt on the edge. It's very nice. And this edition is out of print. As you can see here, it's actually called an Interlinear Edition because the variants are within the text. The Interlinear Bible, the Authorized Version, which is the King James Version, and the Revised Version with the variant readings of the American revisers used in the American Standard Version, together with the marginal notes of both versions and central references. So as we go through here, we see here Cambridge's logo, and this one was directly printed and bound, everything in Great Britain at the University Press at Cambridge. There's introduction here in the New Testament and the Old Testament. You know the Old Testament is based upon the Masoretic Hebrew, and the New Testament is based upon Koine Greek. Both are biblical foundational languages of Scripture. In fact, the variants are even given for details such as the title. The first book of Moses in the Revised Version and also in the AV, it says commonly called Genesis. We know Genesis means beginnings. In fact, in other languages, they say either turn to the book of First Moses or turn to the book of Beginnings or something very equivocal to that. The Authorized Version is the King James Version, and it states the first book of Moses called Genesis. So we see here in chapter 1 of verse 2, and the earth was without form, is a King James, and that is the lower portion of the branch, and that's known as a subscript. And a superscript is at the top, and waste is given for the RV and the ASV. If for some reason there is a variant from the RV, which is not too often, it's actually rare, but they do have them, they will note them within the bottom of the notes here, as well as the notes on the bottom has other notes that are important to the text as well. This one has actually nice wider margins, and here I want you to look at the Psalms, and here it's in a poetic format, and here we have the references, and you can see how it splits. Even if there is spelling differences, let's say it's the same word and one is capitalized and the other is not, one is plural, one is singular. In fact, at the end, if there's semicolons, colons, if there's a period, they go to every detail, even to write down to even if there is no comma and there's a comma or whatever is the punctuation mark that is a variant. Every little detail is given here in this edition. Let's go to the New Testament here, and we see here in the Gospels, and there's information in the beginning, in the intro, just as there was with the Old Testament. And I want you to see here variants in the spellings of the names. Remember, on the top it's the RV and ASV, and on the bottom it's the King James Version. And if there's a missing portion there, like some places have a space at the top, it means that there was no words placed there, but there was words placed there in the King James Version. There is no concordance. There is lined paper at the back, and that's pretty much it for this edition. And the calfskin edition, I think, might be still available. It's pretty expensive. I'm not sure what the price is. But the older edition had these nice